Manx Radio Sport.
Minutes past 5 here on your nation station, Manx Radio. Welcome to Classifieds here on Manx Radio AM with myself, Ben Cunningham, in the chair. And we are going to be looking at all the action that's took place today in local football, rugby and hockey, getting all the analysis from Tony Mepham and Dave Christian. But first, we're going to start with the classified results. And we are going to start with football. And in the Hospital Cup preliminary round, St John's United 4, St George's 0, Douglas Royal 5, Douglas and District 0, Braddon against Maloo, a walkover to Braddon, Onchan 2, Colby 4 on penalties after extra time, St Mary's 1, Peel 3, Marown 2, Corinthians 1, Union Mills 1, Ayr 2, Laxey 4, Russian 2, Arden and Drugan Division 2, Douglas High School and Old Boys 4, Michael United 0, Ramsey Youth Centre and Old Boys 1, Governors Athletic 2. In the Ascot Hotel Junior Cup preliminary round, St John's United against Douglas High School and Old Boys awaiting result. St Mary's against Douglas Athletic, awaiting result. Colby against Laxey, awaiting result. Jims against Ramsey Youth Centre and Old Boys, awaiting result. Peel against Onchan, awaiting result. Castletown v Corinthians, awaiting result. Ramsey against Union Mills, awaiting result. And Foxdale against Russian, awaiting result. In rugby in Regional 2 Northwest, Douglas 30, Fernwood Waterloo 24. Counties 3, ADM Lancs and Cheshire. Dale Sale 48, Vagabonds 12. In hockey in the Men's Premier League, Valkyries B 0, Castletown A 8. Backers A 1, Vikings A 3. Valkyries A 3, Harlequins A 0. In the Ladies Premier League, Vikings A 1, Harlequins A 1, Valkyries B 2, Backers A 1, Castletown A 8, Ramsey A 0. In Men's Division 1, Ramsey A 6, Backers C 0. Backers B against Vikings B, a late result. Harlequins B v Castletown B, a late result. Ladies Division 1, Valkyries B 4, Backers B 0. And Vikings B against Castletown C, a late result. Ladies Division 2, Vikings C 0, Harlequins B 2. Valkyries C against Backers C, a home walkover to Valkyries C, Backers C unable to field the team. And then finally, Castletown E v Ramsey, a late result. So that concludes our classified results. So I'll get my papers into order and we'll say a very good afternoon to Tony Mepham. Now, Tony, last week we were looking for our bobble hats, our waterproof jackets, and this week, completely the opposite this week with the weather.
It's absolutely fantastic weather today, and unfortunately down at the bowl, if you're in the shade, a little bit of a chill to the air, but in the sunshine, that's where most people sat, and I don't blame them at all. It was absolutely tremendous. Pitches are hardening up now. We got the night games starting a week this Tuesday, so it's all getting prepped up, if you like, for the summer, and it's always a good time in the Hospital Cup and also the Junior Cup start, because that means we're coming towards the end of the season as well.
Absolutely. Let's have a look at the Hospital Cup then. We will start with that. And this was the preliminary round. And we are going to start with St John's United 4, St George's 0.
Yeah, there's some really good ties in the prelim round this competition, and certainly today St John's against St George's. I know St George's 1 or 2 missing, but St John's still got to do the job, and they did the job well. Callum Taggart got the first one for St John's. Luke Murray got the second. No one's owning up to the old goal, but Andrew Chadwick it was who got the fourth one there for St John's, and St John's go into the hat.
Douglas Royal 5, Douglas and District 0.
You look at the Division 2 league tables, Douglas Royal 5th place, and when you look where Douglas and District are, they're in 11th. So they knew it was going to be a tough afternoon, Douglas and District, but it wasn't too bad at half time. Douglas and District have a habit of doing this in cup games in the first half. They seem to be able to hold it together, and then the second half is maybe a bit of fitness or something. But for Douglas Royal, Stuart Foley got one, Sam Greasley got his name on the score sheet, Jordan Cowan with a couple of goals, and Bailey Ashton who got the other one for Douglas Royal. 5-0 it was.
Braddon against Maloo, that was given to Braddon as a walkover.
Yeah, fair play to Maloo. They worked hard this morning to try and get the team together, but 1 or 2 people at work, a couple of sicknesses as well, so it didn't help matters. So they made the call, and unfortunately cup rules are that if you can't fulfil the fixture, then you go out and the opposition win the game. So it's Braddon that go through with that non-appearance of Maloo.
Okay, let's have a talk of this game. This was the game that Rob Pritchard was at for us. Onken 2, Colby 4.
Yeah, I'm just having a look to see if Rob's been able to put a bit of a report in for us.
This was after extra time and on penalties, we have been informed.
That's right, and fair play to them because Colby, when you look at them where they are in Division 2, they're in 3rd place, as where Onken are in 11th place in the Canlife Premier League. But today it was Colby who've won it. Colby won 4-2 after extra time, then into a penalty shootout, and Colby held their nerve. And if anyone's got any of the goal scorers for the penalties, just fire us through, please. 166 177.
And we're now going to look at the game that you were at, which was St Mary's against Peel. Now, this game, when I arrived up at the studio, sounded like it was going to go to extra time, but in the last few moments of the game, Peel went and took it.
Yeah, and I think, fair play to St Mary's when you're, 15, 16 minutes into the game, and you concede a penalty, and the penalty is judged to have been a deliberate handball, and the player gets sent off as well. So St Mary's went down to 10. Chris Asperidge it was who got sent off, and Thomas Brown stepped up to take the penalty, put it to the keeper's right-hand side, squeezed it just between the keeper and the post to make it 1-0 to Peel. But then Joe Berquist got a penalty for St Mary's, and it was Joe who just fired it past Owen Dawson. He stood no chance, a lot of pace on it, and 1-1 it was. And St Mary's, you wouldn't have thought that St Mary's were down to 10 because they covered the gap really well. I thought Tom Callow at the back played really well, and when you look at Morgan Beckley as well, he was solid. And it was unfortunate for them that an absolute peach of a goal by Rhys Oates, who was just on the left-hand side of the goal, and he just rounded his shot past the goalkeeper. A lot of pace on it as well to make it 2-1. And then Thomas Brown, it looked as if the ball was going out of play, but Thomas managed to keep it in, brought it back in towards the centre of the penalty area, and hit it with so much venom. Harry Callan stood no chance, and into the goal it went, and it finished up Peel 3, St Mary's 1.
What a result this is for Moran. Moran 2, Corinthians 1.
Yeah, an absolute belting result. Corinthians, I think, took the lead, and then Moran equalised to make it 1-1. It was Ethan Reddy, I think, with the goal for Moran. And then towards the end of the game, Joey Rothwell, I think it was 87, 88 minutes, got the winning goal for Moran. Corinthians go out, second in the league, and Moran, who have been relegated, go through to the next round.
Okay, we look at this fixture now. When you went to this fixture in the semi-finals a few weeks ago, it went all the way through to extra time,
yeah.
and Ayr United just took it in the last minute of extra time. And this game has been just as close today. Union Mills 1, Ayr 2.
Yeah, and from what I heard, it was 2-0 to Ayr United at one stage. Lewis Moran got both of the goals, but Jack Murray, who's been in fine form for Union Mills this season, pulled one back. I'm sure it was a frantic end to the game. but Union Mills couldn't get that goal that they needed to take it into extra time, and they'll be gutted, to be honest with you, because they were so close to beating Ayr at Union Mills, as you say, 2 weeks ago. But here they go again, same venue, same teams, 1 or 2 players missing for both teams, to be fair. Union Mills were quite a few missing, and they couldn't sort of get the result that they wanted, because Union Mills have had a really good season, but it's Ayrs continue because they've got that final in the FA Cup on Easter Saturday, and now they go into the first round of the Hospital Cup, which is a good achievement for Ayr.
And then the final game in this competition was between Laxey and Russian. Now, we believe this one went to extra time as well, and it's Laxey that have come away with it. Laxey 4, Russian United 2.
Yeah, it was 2-2 after 90 minutes. Jamie Cadwallader with the 2 goals for Russian, and I think it was Eric Hill and an own goal, and I've got Mark Blair, who's the goalkeeper for Russian, who sort of possibly gave the goal away, but then it was Tom Cowan and Greg Kelly who got a goal apiece to make sure that Laxey go through, and Laxey like this competition, and beating one of the top teams as well puts them in a favourable position.
Absolutely. So the draw for the Hospital Cup will be happening very shortly once we've gone through all the classified results. Let's have a look at Onundrugan Division 2 now. Douglas High School and Old Boys were against Michael United, and Douglas High School and Old Boys have come away with a win, 4-0.
Yeah, they have, and Old Boys, I'll bring Karl into this in a minute, but Old Boys, on the league tables that we've got in front of us on full time, Old Boys have played 18, but I'm sure the manager of Old Boys knows how many they've played, and he said we've played 19, we're on 39 points now, and we're 6 points behind Braddon, so it's advantage Old Boys that way. We'll get that one checked. But great result for Old Boys today. Danny Corran, he got one. James Burkos got a goal. Jacob Stones and Tyler Lattis Callister. Karl, how did the game go? And more importantly, how's the pressure? Because it's you, Ramsey Youth Centre, and possibly Colby here, who are looking to get promoted with Braddon.
Yeah, we're in a great position where at the beginning of the season, when we pulled in a lot of youngsters, we didn't know we were going to be in this position at the end of the season, so it's been brilliant. And the lads have dug in, battled hard, did well. We've had a bit of a dip, but we've responded well. The pitch today was like tarmac. It was a hard pitch, very hard to get the ball down and play, but we managed it, and we had a good result. And it's credit to the lads for turning up and putting it in every week.
It's been a good season in general for you, because we've got the Paul Henry Gold Cup to come up shortly, and it looks as if we've near enough got the 4 teams now. I think we have, so we can start that competition soon. But you've got a bit of a tasty game to come up against Ramsey Youth Centre. I think it's going to be down to that game, isn't it?
Yeah, which is going to be looks like a Tuesday, I think, isn't it?
It's looking that way.
Yeah, it's going to be good after work, innit? I do like a after work game, to be honest with you. So, and it will be a good game because they give us a tight game in the first half of the season that we come away 3-1 winners, but they'll be good, and I'm looking forward to it.
And for Old Boys, Ben, to be in this position, there's another score for one of the games in Division 2 today as well, and that was Ramsey Youth Centre and Old Boys 1, Governors Athletic 2. And as you've picked up on, Governors Athletic played Braddon last week and drew, and here they are, second place in the league, Ramsey Youth Centre. They've beaten them. So David Kay got one of the goals for Governors Athletic, and David Talbot got the other one. We haven't got Ramsey Youth Centre and Old Boys goal scorer.
So that concludes our fixtures for there today. So looking at the Hospital Cup there, Tony, a few surprises going into the hat, or the teams that you thought might be in the hat?
Yeah, I would agree with you. I thought Corinthians would beat Marown. It didn't happen. St Mary's against Peel. St Mary's, no Frank Jones, no Jack McVeigh, was always going to be sort of difficult for them. So that's not helped. But Peel, they've won that league, and today they just showed with the 2 boys up front, Thomas Brown, Rhys Oates as well, scoring 2 critical goals at the right time that they needed. Daniel Bell, I'm not saying it's patched up, because Daniel Bell is a tremendous player, but plays more in midfield, and he played at the back for Peel, and it kept things relatively solid. But you look at the other ones, St John's, you expected them to win. Douglas Royal, yes. Braddon, walkover against Maloo. I expected Donkin to beat Colby, but I knew it would possibly go into extra time, because Colby are a really good side. And then when you look at the other 2 games, Union Mills and Ayr, it was always going to be tight, 2-1. And Laxey against Russian. I just thought Russian might have nicked that one, but Laxey have held it together in extra time and got the point, or got the results, got the goals that they needed to get themselves into the draw.
Absolutely. So we're just going to take a quick break, but when we come back, we're going to have the draw for the Hospital Cup.
Manx Radio Sport.
I like to move it, move it.
Chilling to this and partying to this. And if that's your kind of vibe, then you'll want to turn on, tune in and cop out with the 90s playlist hosted by me, Nicola Holt, tonight from 10, only on Manx Radio.
Manx Radio Sport.
17 minutes past 5 here on Full Time and Classified here on Manx Radio AM, and we are going to do the Hospital Cup draw for the first round. So I'm going to hand over to Tony and he can introduce our guest who's going to be doing the draw.
We certainly are, and thanks again to Karl Gartland, who is the owner of Manx Quality Sheds, who sponsor the Hospital Cup, and it's down to the first round, and he's got the bag there with 16 numbers in the bag. Karl, if you can make the draw, please.
Yeah, no problem. So first out, number 7.
Number 7 is Foxdale.
Number 8.
And number 8 is Governors Athletic.
Number 9.
Number 9 is Laxey.
Number 10.
And number 10 is Marown. Any chance of shuffling these up?
I know. There you go. Number 16.
Number 16 is St John's.
Number 1.
And number 1 is Ayr.
Number 3.
Number 3 is a home game for Castletown.
Against number 4.
And number 4 is Colby. Southern Derby.
Number 2.
Number 2 is Braddon.
Number 12.
And number 12 is Peel.
Number 6.
Number 6 is Douglas Royal.
Number 5.
And number 5 is Douglas High School Old Boys.
I'll take that. Number 11.
Number 11 is Michael.
Number 15.
And number 15 is Ramsey Youth Centre and Old Boys. 2 left.
So home fixture for 14.
Number 14 is Ramsey.
And number 13.
And number 13 is Pulrose. So I'll go through the draw. The first one out was Foxdale at home against Governors Athletic. Laxey will play Marown. St John's against Ayr United. Southern Derby Castletown will play Colby. Braddon, winners of Division 2, against Peel, winners of the Premier League. Douglas Royal will play Douglas High School Old Boys. Michael against Ramsey Youth Centre and Old Boys. And the final game is Ramsey against Pulrose.
And do we have a date for these fixtures?
Date is next Saturday. We go right the way through with this competition, apart from the semi-final. The final, I should say, is not straight after the semi-final. There's a week break on that. The final will finish up on the 17th of May. And these games will kick off 2 o'clock next Saturday.
Absolutely. So, looking at the ties there, which ones stand out for you?
Well, when you look at Foxdale, they've got that final coming up on Easter Saturday against Ayr United. So that's good build-up for them. They've got a night game coming up shortly as well against St Mary's. Laxey against Marown. Well, Marown, tremendous. They got relegated this season, but had a great win against Corinthians today. But you'd expect Laxey to win that. St John's against Ayr. You know, St John's are capable of beating Ayr, but Ayr at the moment are in good form, so you go with Ayr. Castletown against Colby, I'd go with Colby to win that. Braddon against Peel, it'll just show Braddon what they're going to face next season, and Peel will start off as favourites. Douglas Royal against Old Boys, I've got to be careful because he's sat next to me, but I'm going to go for Old Boys to win. Michael against Ramsey Youth Centre and Old Boys, and Ramsey against Pulrose. It's nice to see Pulrose, who sort of 2 or 3 years ago really struggling to get a team together. Now they've got 2 good teams, good players coming through, and they will be visiting Ballaclone, which is always a great place to play. What do you think, Karl?
Yeah, I think it's good. I think the Castletown Colby game would be a good game. And like you said, it'd be good for Braddon to see what they're up against next year against Peel. And we owe Douglas Royals one for getting beat 3-1, so I'm looking forward to that one.
Yeah. Nice one. Thank you very much.
No worries.
Absolutely. So we're not finished just yet, Tony. We've got another draw to do.
We
I
have
believe.
got another draw, and I'll give Karl a chance to put the balls in the bag. We've got 16 teams, and this is for the Karl Cup. Now, the Karl Cup, Ben, is an under-21 competition. So you must be 16 years of age, but under 21 on the 1st of September 2024. So the 16 teams entered this competition. That's equal to the most we've ever had. It's a straight cup knockout. We did consult with the clubs to look at playing it as a league format, but a few clubs just thought there was too many games with games that they got left, and some clubs wanted to play it. So, we've been sort of fair to the clubs just to get their feeling, but the season's only got about 5 weeks to go, so it'll be really tight to get it in. So Karl's got 16 teams in there. We've got 8 games to pull out. If you could, please.
No problem. Number 13.
Number 13 is Ramsey.
Against number 14. I'm not doing this on purpose.
Number
obviously.
14 is Ramsey Youth Centre and Old Boys.
Number 16.
Number 16 is Union Mills.
Number 3.
And number 3 is Corinthians.
Number 10.
Number 10, Onken.
Against number 11. Maybe I am.
Number 11 is Peel.
Number 7.
Number 7 is a home game for Laxey.
Against number 12.
Number 12 is Pulrose.
Number 6.
Number 6 is Governors Athletic.
Against number 15.
15, Russian.
Number 1.
1 is Braddon.
Number 4.
And number 4 is Douglas High School Old Boys.
Number 9.
Number 9 is Michael.
Against number 2.
Number 2 is Castletown. And the last game.
Is number 8.
Number 8 is Marown.
And number 5.
And number 5 is Douglas and District. Right, I'll give you the draw again. The first one out, Ramsey at home against Ramsey Youth Centre and Old Boys. Union Mills will play Corinthians. Onken against Peel. Laxey against Pulrose. Governors against Russian. Braddon against Douglas High School Old Boys. Michael will play Castletown, and the final game is Marown against D&D. Just to go through this, Ben, the competition starts on Thursday the 17th of April. The Ramsey Youth Centre and Old Boys game and the Braddon v Douglas High School Old Boys game won't be played on the 17th because obviously Ramsey Youth Centre and Braddon play in the final the following day, and there's a lot of players involved in both teams, so that game will be arranged for a different date, probably midweek the following week. But that's the draw for the Karl Cup under-21 competition.
Any standout ties in that one?
It's tough because you have to look where the league went this year, and that was Ramsey. So, Ramsey will be slight favourites. Corinthians, I think, are one of the favourites because there's a lot of players still available over 18 but under 21, which will make them strong. Onken, I know, have signed 2 FC Alaman players this week, so that'll make them stronger. And when you look down as well, Braddon got some really good young players in there. And it'll be just interesting just to see, like Peel. It's under 21, so some first team players, certainly saw 4 or 5 of them under 21 today, so they'll be pretty strong as well. But until the competition starts, it's hard to gauge it, who's available.
Absolutely. Well, Tony, thank you very much for them draws, and Karl as well, thank you for joining us to do those draws. Of course, your day isn't finished just yet, Tony. You have got FC Alaman now. FC Alaman, how would they love to get a win tonight?
They need a win, really, to be fair, because when you look at the game last week, I thought the first half they played really well, but you sense that they were sort of under a bit of pressure, and in that second 45 minutes, obviously the goals just start to flow. But some fantastic goals scored against them, and you just got to accept it that they were the better team on the day. But Charlton Richard just below them in the league, so I would expect them to sort of find it a little bit easier maybe to try and take the points. But at the moment, the boys' heads are down because you can see the performances have been a little bit below par to their standards. There's 1 or 2 players missing today as well. They're away. So, unfortunately, you've still got to crack on. But, yeah, nice evening. Sunshine's still out, so get down there. And obviously it finishes in daylight as well now that the clocks have gone forward. So, even better.
Absolutely. And I know you want to pass on your congratulations to someone as well this evening.
Yeah, as everyone knows that, Manx Radio, Tessa Hawley's just had the baby, and I spoke to her this time last week, actually, and I said to her, you're going to have the baby tomorrow, and she said, yeah, we'll wait and see. Well, it happened. So she's fantastic. Well done to Karl as well. Little baby boy. We wish you well. Seen the pictures, absolutely beautiful, and congratulations to both of them.
And there is a reason why you said you'll have the baby tomorrow this time last week, isn't there?
Yeah, it was. It was my birthday, and I said to her right the way through, when she gave me a rough idea of when her due date was, I said, you're going to have the baby on the 30th of March, and so it was. So I'll not forget his birthday at all now, and, it's great news for them because, we've had some fun right the way through, and I think Karl's been very fortunate that he's been allowed to play football towards the sort of end of Tessa's term, because it was touch and go at times, and she was there watching him last week playing football. Unfortunately, they didn't win, but now they've got other things on their mind, and well done to both.
Absolutely. Well, we're going to head on down to Rob Pritchard, because just as you've finished there, Tony, he has messaged to say we have team news. So for the first time this evening, Rob Pritchard, a very good evening.
Yeah, very good evening, Ben. Welcome to listeners on Manx Radio AM 1368 for the first time this evening to the sun-kissed Bowl Stadium ahead of this NWCFL Premier Division encounter between FC Isle of Man and Charnock Richard, with kick-off in just around 32 minutes time. 22 minutes time, I should say. We can bring you team news now. Let's start with your hosts, FC Isle of Man. Quite a few changes, 4 to be precise, from that chastening 4-0 defeat at home to Lower Breck 7 days ago. Dropping out this week are Charlie Higgins, Dan Simpson, Ben Water, and excuse me if I can get my words out there, and Josh Kenyon coming in as well. It's going to be Adam Karouche, Jacob Crook, Joao Marquez, and Tom Creer as well. So 4 changes for FC Isle of Man. This is your squad, therefore, to take on Charnock Richard. In goal is Adam Killier, and then it's Callum Sherry, Jacob Crook, Ryan Burns, Alex Maitland, Harley Jackson, Steve Whitley, Sam Baines, the captain, Sean Doyle, Danny Gerard and Luke Booth. 5 substitutes for FC Isle of Man. They are Ben Wasser, Tom Creer, Jean Marquez, Joshua Kane and Adam Karouche. And for the visitors, Charnock Richard, they make 2 changes from the side that beat Barnton in that narrow 1-0 victory to seal their place in the Macron Cup final in May last week. And Spencer Bibby and Mark Woods are the ones to drop out of Ryan Donnellan's side this weekend. In come Shay Stansfield and Matthew Westwell, the latter of those starting from the bench. So your Charnock Richard starting 11 is as follows. In goal is Ryan Hamer. Then it's Sky Sinclair, Marcus Haydock, Shay Stansfield, Ashley Young, the captain Lewis Haydock, Fenton Davies, Luke Power, Louis Holt, Matthew Davies and Nathan Nicaeus. Just the 4 substitutes for Charnock Richard this evening. They are Latona, Matthew Westwell, Cameron Gawley and Jordan Dye. Your referee this evening is Matthew Pointer, and his assistants are James Cherry and Stephanie Shaw. FC Isle of Man, well, their winless run just seems to keep going and going toward the end of the season. They've now not won in all of their last 8 in all competitions. And of course, that 4-0 defeat at the hands of title contenders Lower Breck last weekend, just adding to the woes that they've had in front of goal and trying to get maximum points on the board. And they come up against a Charnock Richard side that have hit their stride in the last 3 games. They've won all of their last 3, including clean sheets in back-to-back games coming into this weekend. And Charnock Richard, they've enjoyed themselves against FC Isle of Man in previous times as well. They've scored 14 goals in the 5 meetings with FC Isle of Man so far, and a win this evening would see them leapfrog the Ravens in the table. So with the sun out and the fans starting to filter their way in, the question is this: with 3 games to go, can FC Isle of Man, as Paul Jones asked for in midweek, find that intensity and desire to try and get a victory on the board going into these final few games? Or will it be Charnock Richard who, after a brilliant 5-3 comeback win here at the Bowl last time out, can they repeat the feat and head away with all 3 points? We'll have to wait and see. FC Isle of Man versus Charnock Richard, kick-off in 29 minutes time. Full live match commentary to come here on Manx Radio AM 1368. From myself and Tony Mepham from 6 p.m.
Rob, many thanks for that. Well, we were just saying at the start when me and Tony were talking, this time last week we were asking, have you got the gloves on? Have you got the sunshades on this week?
I was thinking about packing them, to be honest, but given the fact that we're under this shelter part here at the bowl, I've got a horrible feeling in the back of my mind that once that sun does start to set during this game, it might get mighty cold. I know that from experience, but hopefully we can actually just see quite a few fans across from us. And I was actually told by someone a few minutes ago that there are a couple of fans across on the other side of the stadium that have come all the way over from Australia with this game in mind. I'm sure they've got plenty of other things planned here on the island as well, but quite a long journey, of course, and we wish them well on this weekend and hope they enjoy the game, whatever the result. But yeah, conditions here absolutely wonderful as they have been throughout the day. Let's hope it stays that way throughout this evening.
Absolutely. Rob Pritchard, many thanks, and we'll speak to you at 6 o'clock.
Manx Radio Sport.
Okay, and we're going to now go to Dave Christian to have a look at everything that's happened in the rugby this afternoon. A very good afternoon, Dave Christian.
Yeah, good afternoon, Ben. Excuse me while I try not to die. It was a great finish to the season for Douglas at Portashee this afternoon, basking in the sunshine. They beat promotion hopefuls Furwood Waterloo 30-24. They've confirmed their sixth place finish, which is their highest ever at this level, so we think. And their nearest rivals for that, Altrincham Kersal, lost away this afternoon, and that is effectively confirming their spot. And elsewhere in the table, Bowden were given a walkover, which confirmed them as champions. Furwood Waterloo do finish second despite their loss at Douglas because third place Sandbach lost away as well. So all chaos at the top end of Regional 2 Northwest, but not for Douglas. They're just outside the fight for promotion. But what a game it was. The action started from the very first kick. Douglas scrum half Jonty Cope returned the kick-off for a well-taken solo try from halfway. With the very first play of the game. Blake Everson doubled the lead just after 10 minutes, and then Waterloo finally struck back with a try from Alex Topping, which was converted by James Ratliff. A Harvey Baker try then put Waterloo ahead, but Nathan Robson hit a penalty at the other end for Douglas and left them 13-12 ahead at half-time. Topping went in for his second just after the break to retake the lead for Waterloo. However, Douglas then hit a purple patch. Robson started it off. He added his second penalty of the game. Kyle Martin raced in for a try, and then Mark Oldfield crashed over from close range. Robson converted both of those tries to make the lead 30 points to 17 with 20 minutes to play. And Waterloo had chances for penalties, but they opted to chase the game. They were looking for tries. They didn't come. Douglas defended well. They lost Blake Everson to the yellow card with 15 minutes to go, but they still weathered the storm and they were able to close the game out. There was a late try for Waterloo. That was a try and conversion from standoff James Ratliff, but by that stage, the game was already won. There wasn't really enough time left for them to do anything else. So fair play to Douglas. Great performance for them this afternoon. They're going to be difficult to beat in the Manx Cup, and they start next week with Vagabonds. Vagabonds today, it was the end of their season as well. They were away at De La Salle in Salford. They lost 48-12 over there after they finally finished their punishing fixture list. De La Salle were chasing promotion. They were always likely to be difficult to beat this afternoon, but Vaggers fronted up well. They were missing captain Dan Bomwick out again. He's missed a few games already after Christmas with injury. He had to dip out of this one as well. But they managed to score twice this afternoon. One from Tom Gascoigne, who's rumoured to be retiring at the end of the season, and if that's true, then it's a great way for him to finish. And Matty Jones also picked one up. He scored last week against Colin Nelson. There was a conversion in there for Jack Kane. It's been a difficult season for Vaggers, to say the least, but they've been competitive at times, especially at home. And they've got 2 losing bonus points in their bag as well, which suggests they're not too far away from competing at a mid-table level in Regional 2, in Counties 3, ADM, Lancashire and Cheshire. They do have 3 games left, though, in the Manx Cup. They have Douglas next Saturday, then they play Southern Nomads and finally Ramsey. And that's all coming up with the conclusion of the domestic rugby season on the 3rd of May with the Manx Cup final, which from memory is at Ballafletcher this season.
Absolutely, Dave. Many thanks for all your input today, and we will catch up with you next weekend. But for now, Dave Christian, thank you very much.
Manx Radio Sport.
Belfast is buzzing.
And the Isle of Man Steam Packets Belfast routes are back so you can see for yourself.
But how about we make your Irish adventures even more fun by giving you £1,000 to spend on your Belfast experience?
We've teamed up with the Steam Packets to bring you this incredible prize. Check out the videos we took on our social pages for a bit of Irish inspiration and for your chance to win.
The Belfast is buzzing £1,000 prize.
With the Isle of Man Steam Packet Company and your nation station, Manx Radio.
Manx Radio Sport.
And finally, we're going to look at everything hockey, and it was the final weekend of the men's and ladies campaigns in Manx hockey. And there was still titles to be decided as well in both a couple of leagues as well, which went right down to the wire. So we'll have a look at them. Let's start in the men's Premier League. And the first game of the day at 12:35 was between Valkyries B and Castletown A. Now, Valkyries B knew that they were relegated. However, though, Castletown A have finished the season on a high with an 8-0 win there. Archie Cox with 5 goals, Ozen Dunn with 1, Steve Ronan with 1, and George Powell with 1. Valkyries A 3, Harlequins A 0. Chris Thomas with 2 goals there, and Greg Miller all on the score sheet there for Valkyries, giving them a win to end the season on. The big game of the day, though, the top two met at the NSC at 2:05. It was Backers A, the league leaders, against Vikings A, who were second going into this game, just 2 points behind Backers A. And Vikings A came away with the win, a 3-1 win for Vikings A. Alex Andrews, Ben Dougal, Josh Dougal, all on the score sheet for Vikings A, with Backers A goal scorer coming from Jamie Brown. But it was not enough for Vikings A. Backers A have been crowned the men's Premier League title on goal difference, as their goal difference was far more superior than Vikings A. So they have finished both level on points, but Backers A take it on goal difference. In the Ladies Premier League, everything was all decided in this league. The promotion and relegation was all confirmed before this weekend. And the first game was Vikings A against Harlequins A, a 1-1 draw, a really close end-to-end game from the reports from both captains that have been sent in to us here in the studio. Kim Carney for Vikings A and Rachel Middleton for Harlequins A. And one thing to note for Harlequins, the Harlequins keeper saved a penalty flick that Vikings A had in the game. So a great achievement there for Harlequins to hold out for that draw. Valkyries A 2, Backers A 1, Imogen Crook and Ellen DeRose for Valkyries A, and then for Backers A it was Donna Harrison, giving Valkyries A that second place spot. They have finished runners-up in the Ladies Premier League. A big congratulations to them. The league leaders and champions, Castletown A, faced Ramsey A, who knew they were relegated going into this game and knew it was going to be a tough day at the office, and it has not been easy for Ramsey A. Castletown A 8, Ramsey A 0. Dulcie Tier with 3, Hannah Lees with 2, Bree Collister with 1, Sarah Farragut with 1, and Evie Watterson with a goal, giving the Castletown A ladies that victory, meaning they have finished the campaign undefeated, but not with a perfect record. However, they did drop a point in the season to Backers A earlier in the season, so they've finished the season undefeated, but just not quite with maximum points. In men's Division 1, though, the big game here was at 3:35 between Backers B and Vikings B. These two teams come into this game level on points, but with Backers B having the better goal difference, and Vikings B have took the victory. They have won by 2-0 over Backers B, meaning Vikings B are promoted back to the men's Premier League next season. Goals from Alex Andrew and Josh Dougal giving Vikings B that crucial win, giving them the Premier League status back, and which they will have next season in the men's and ladies campaign. Elsewhere, Harlequins B 2, Castletown B 4. Chris Stereo with 3 and Al Ledridge with 1 for Castletown B. And then for Harlequins, it was Pete Nuttall and Paul Nuttall on the score sheet. Ramsey A 6, Backers C 0. Backers C were relegated last weekend, and Ramsey A have had a good day at the office here. Jordan Parkins with a hat-trick, Dan Hurd with 1, Kyle Kane with 1, and Valentino Crossgrave all on the score sheet in that game. Ladies Division 1, the second and third met in this league, and that was Valkyries B in second v Backers B in third, and Valkyries B have come away with the win, 4-0 win. They have took the runners-up spot in Ladies Division 1, Steph Cottier with 2 goals, Lisa Kelly and Bernie Dunn all on the score sheet for Valkyries B, giving them that win. Vikings B 2, Castletown C 1 is the goal. Is the news we've heard from from QE2. Helen Egan's and Morgan Braywood all on the score sheet for Vikings B, with Neve McNuggan on the score sheet for Castletown C, which we think is Castletown C relegated, with Castletown D, who played midweek against Castletown B, safe. So we think that is the case. We will get it confirmed, and we will make sure it's official when we post all the results on the Manx Radio website following the conclusion of this show. Ladies Division 2, the top 2 were due to meet today at Ramsey Grammar School. However, Backers Ladies C were unable to field the team today, so Valkyries Ladies C come away with a home walkover in that game. However, though, Backers Ladies C were confirmed the league champions last weekend when they played, and Valkyries Ladies C are confirmed as the runners-up in this league as well with that result. Harlequins B 2, Vikings C 0. Laura Smith and Eleanor Hunter all on the score sheet for Harlequins B, giving them a great result to finish their campaign on what has been a really good season for a young developing side. And then finally, we are just getting the scorers come in to us now from this final game, and that is in Ladies Division 2, and that is Castletown E 0, Ramsey B 3, and the goal scorers are Gail Corran, Kira Kane, and Olivia Bolton, all on the score sheet for Ramsey B. So that concludes all the league action in Manx Hockey. However, hockey is not finished just yet. There is going to be a little bit of a break for teams to get ready as they prepare for the Cup, Plate and Bowl finals weekend, which takes place on the 25th and 26th of April. Of course, the 25th is a Friday, and we will have a Friday night game, and that is going to be the Ladies' Cup, and that is going to be between Backers Ladies A and Castletown A, and that is at 7 o'clock at the NSC. Then on Saturday, the first game of the day, kicking things off, is going to be the Men's Bowl between Valkyries Men's C, who were crowned Men's Division 2 champions last weekend, playing Vikings Men's C, who they just beat by 1 point. So that's going to be a really close game in the bowl final there for the men's. In the Ladies' Bowl at 11 o'clock, Valkyries C take on Backers Ladies C. So the top 2 in Ladies Division 2 meet in that game as well. Then at 12:45, the Men's Cup between Valkyries Men's A and Backers Men's A. And how would Backers A love to go and get the double there? They've got the league today. Can they go and get the cup as well? We'll see on the day. At 2:30, the ladies' plate between Valkyries B and Backers B. The second v third in Ladies Division 1 meet in that game. And then finally, Backers Men's B, who just lost out today to that league title against Vikings B, play Harlequins Men's B in the men's plate final, and that game is at 4:15.
Manx Radio Sport.
So that just about concludes things here today on Classified. But as always, we're going to leave you with the headlines. In the Hospital Cup, St John's United, Douglas Royal, Braddon, Colby, Peel, Marown, Ayr United and Laxey all progress into the next round. Full list of the first round draw will be on Manx Radio's website following the conclusion of this show. Arden and Druggan Division 2 wins for Douglas High School Old Boys and Governors Athletic getting the better of Ramsey Youth Centre and Old Boys. In Regional 2 Northwest, Douglas finish on a high with a win over Waterloo. While for Vagabonds, it wasn't the finish they want, a defeat at Deal the South. In the hockey, congratulations to Backers Men's A. They take the Men's Premier League title on goal difference. Congratulations to Castletown Ladies A. They are the winners of the Ladies Premier League. And in Men's Division 1, Vikings Men's B take it and they are back into the Premier League next season. Backers B lose to Vikings Men's B, giving them the Men's Division 1 title. And in Ladies Division 1, wins for Valkyries B and Vikings B. And in Ladies Division 2, wins for Harlequins B and Ramsey B. And that concludes Full Time and Classifieds for today. Thank you so much as always for your company.